Hello, people and bots. Grandpa Canuck here, and we're back in Hearts of Iron 4 Black Ice mod. This is the Germany playthrough Late War Start. It's currently May 1944, episode 13. Well, we're still at peace with the Soviet Union. May 1944. War has not started. We are in production our rocket interceptors. We have V2 rockets that are getting launched off occasionally into London. And we have are building a launch site in the Königsberg area here for Eastern operations, if need be. We have the air war tolerable. We are somewhat under control. We have also finished 2 aircraft carriers. They are just about finished training. And this is going to be the beginning of a move into the Atlantic. A little bit more projection power. So we'll see how that progresses. So once we get those done and deployed, we will be making up the task force. We have been retrofitting the majority of our ships with radar, so that we have better observation. We have been maintaining air in certain parts of the Atlantic, including around the Denmark Strait, around Iceland here, and we will start to try and get out with more shipping. Our submarines have been doing an incredible assault on the Allied shipping in the Atlantic and in the Indian Ocean, where we have one ship, the Prince Eugen, who has just been decimating, absolutely decimating shipping. The Italians have landed in the Lebanon-Syria area, and they fought their way down and have taken the Suez Canal. They were doing okay. They've recently had a collapse in East Africa in literally March and April 1944. We have sent our first few troops down to Africa to assist them, not very many. In an early war with Greece, we took the Greek islands of Crete here and the Aegean Islands. We did invade Cyprus and take Cyprus from the British. So they have Malta and Gibraltar, and that is their only operation in the Mediterranean. They can't seem to get a foothold anywhere else. So unless they pull off an Operation Torch and land in Vichy, France, I think we are clear. They may do that after they wrap things up down here in East Africa. We'll see. Japan is having a tough time in China. It's been pushed back to some coastal holdings, still holding Manchuria for the most part. It still has the Philippines and Borneo and Sumatra, the Dutch East Indies area here. It has been pushed out of New Guinea, and it is still maintaining Guadalcanal area and has pushed actually as far as Fiji in holding there. So it has not collapsed. It has operated in the Atlantic because really weird in the collapse of Holland early on. These small two squares went to Japan with that, and that because they were at war with Japan before we were, and that has caused a problem with me making the Atlantic Wall, which hopefully is not going to be needed anyway. We may build a few forts in that area. We'll see how this goes. We are progressing through as well with production of our nuclear reactors. We have 2 nuclear reactors approximately half done. We are 1 year away from having 2 operational nuclear reactors. And we have just started a 3rd nuclear reactor, which will be done in the summer of 46. Under our research, we are behind on a few things. We're just getting to the Panzerfaust and the explosive teams here. We are attempting to move into the advanced carrier hulls, which would be ahead of the British in some area, but not others as far as making aircraft carriers. It's the Americans that I fear for aircraft carriers, not the British carriers. We're 4 days away from the nuclear weapons production capability, and we are moving towards the Tiger IIs here in 90 days production as well. Our rockets are moving up to the long range rocket here, and that's 1 step away from the Fritz, which is the true ICBM style of rocket. And we have 46 days for the interwar carrier schemes. When we get that 46 days in, I think we'll start building 1 more aircraft carrier, or at least a light aircraft carrier, and see how it goes from there. Okay, the counter under the nuclear as well, 146 days out. So we're progressing well towards nuclear weapons. We know England is not. We do not have high enough intelligence on the British for certain things. We will endeavor to increase that. We don't have incredibly high intelligence yet on the Soviet Union, and that's fine. And we have some limited knowledge of the United States as well. But overall, intelligence-wise, we are okay. I think I'm going to move that one out. We're put her into, oops. Put her into England as well. See if we can get our knowledge up here on the British. Did a little bit of organizing off screen. I've separated the land troops into Central and Eastern theaters. Okay, so more technology. Getting more guns, more options. It's good. Nuclear weapon production. Nuclear reactor state level 2. Not there yet. And nuclear bombs. This allows nuclear 2. This allows the nuclear bombs. 357 days away. So we're looking at May 1945 for nuclear capability. That would be nice. Oh, double agent, tough, linguist, and well-groomed. American. We'll do that. And let's send them to work in the USA. We know we're sinking lots of Allied shipping. And some cruise. Pretty much his shipping is gone out of the Mediterranean. Remember, all this is one ship down here. One ship is doing incredible action there. Okay, we've got most of the destroyers upgraded now. Time to move into the smaller craft, I think. Okay, these are convoy escorts. And not only can we add radar to these, we can increase... Oh, no, we can't. We're just learning it. All we can do is increase the radar. That's fine. That's fine. Few escorts done. Excuse me. Those are not very big upgrades at all. They won't take long. Oh, he's contesting me in Belgium. He's bombing the odd buildings. Advanced jet engine research. Gestapo and divisions is wanted. Naval bases in France are helpful. New carrier designs. I think that's a good long-term commitment. Expand oil exploitation in Poland. That could be crucial. Let's go with that. Okay, and we have another aircraft done. Our flying boat. Carrier bomber is a possibility. Better fast bomber, that's a possibility. And increasing the rocket interceptor would be good. We don't have the jet engine quite yet. We're close. almost ready to get a better night fighter as well. Let's go for the carrier bomber. And new flying boat. This is going to be the last flying boat we produce, so let's put some points in it. This is going to be a 44 June model. Look at the IC cost, 106.27. Wow. Wow. Massive. Okay, our air production capacity is over for sure. Bring that down. Can we put that into a smaller air unit? Nope. Nope. Okay. There we go, the improved cinemetric radar. Jet aircraft, jet engines. We have the half a year, so we're bang on. Both of these. There we go. And what has happened to Himmler here? Why don't we have a picture of Himmler? Huh. Don't know why. Okay, well, this will be training 2 for now. And we'll just put him under Himmler's command for now. And who do we want to lead this? Start training that. And Okay, so these 4 training are done. Where do I want them to go? Let's just send them to leads or loads for now. Okay, yeah, Eastern support. Yeah, they need to go in here to Eastern support. They're all part of Eastern support. What else is done? Well, honestly, you need to go back. There. Let's pull you out. Put you in Eastern support as well. Okay. More training done. We've got a lot of medium eddy tanks now. I think we have motorized light here. So we go motorized medium artillery. Instead, we have the heavy transport. Oh, we've got way more than enough. Oh, that's the wrong unit. That's the right unit, wrong thing. Motorized medium anti-tank. Have enough heavy transport, and that's not even taking half of our medium anti-tank. That will be good. Increases my power. That takes care of the medium guns in. Got 1,000 mechanized now. I've got 900 trucks. Recovery vehicles, not many cavalry tanks. I have heavy tanks. Advanced medium tanks are coming along. Okay, I think that's definitely enough to pull in 1 or 2 SS units. That's 6 SS mechanized, an SS medium tank, heavy tank, medium close support. Yeah, I think we can do that. These produced here. Yeah. We transport trucks. 3 uniform. 600 of those mechanized. That goes. Only 10 trucks. 30 armored cars, light vehicles, radio equipment support. 40 heavy tanks. I had that. 40 medium tanks, close support tanks, and medium assault guns. I think I had all that equipment. Beauty. Which medium tanks did it put in? Good mixture of mechanized, all the captured stuff. Mostly Tigers. Panzer 3Es and Ms. Yeah, that all worked. Still have medium tanks, light tanks, advanced medium tanks, heavy tanks. Okay, let's look at another unit. That one's mechanized. That one's motorized. Let's go with that one. That's produced here. And 44 mechanized. 450 trucks will fit. Some medium tanks. Might not have the close support. Got medium CS tank in 2 spots there. %, so what am I short? What am I short? Not half tracks, not trucks, not cars, not light vehicles, medium tanks. I'm short medium tanks. Short medium tanks. Doesn't seem right. Well, it can only have the most modern medium tanks. It doesn't have those. Huh. Okay. But I have medium tanks, just not of the main units. I also have some medium so if I go to my newest units here and I change that medium tank to advanced medium tank, that's going to save me 80. I don't quite have 80, but that will get those medium tanks out into that, or more of them at least. Okay, and that'll start putting the Panthers in the field. Okay, there we go. Vichy France wants to join the faction. Definitely. Streamline production. Okay, we have a shortage of airplane production. Air production capacity up 1 per assembly. That's what we need. We'll increase that. Look at all, 20 more there. This is just grueling. What did we lose? We lost an escort there. Okay. We lost some transport. Lost 2 submarines there. To the Canadians! No, it was actually an American aircraft carrier. Operating with the Canadians. Americans are still trying to transport there. Okay, looks like we have most of those escorts done. Oh, I got destroyers I didn't upgrade yet. That's enough. We'll go back and sort that out in a bit. Well, actually, let's just check that one. Yeah, he does have one in there. We'll put that one in there too. Level 9, they're almost done training. Their war's going reasonably well. Okay. They're still level 1s. That's the transport unit. It's a level 6. It's carrier bombers. CAS. Tactical bombers, not quite done training. Level 4s. If I was desperate, I could pull them out of training. Level 7, that's tactical bombers, almost ready. These are level 2s. More fighter groups. Into there. Training. And anything else? Night fighters. Let's start another night fighter group. We could deploy that half built with trade. He's bombing us. He's not getting through with a lot. Yeah, he's got enough damage there. Well, we're definitely looking for the summer of 1945 to have nukes. Looks like it's still separate. Yeah, we'll let him rearm. And the faction. Still, I don't know why you're defending your outer border. You need to defend your naval border. Okay, explosive teams. recon companies. Moving to better mechanized, improved infantry weapons, garrison equipment improvements. Geez, so much. Okay. Done. Got one more to do there. Where's those destroyers? Nothing there yet. Okay. He's by himself. This is why I need an aircraft carrier out here. Ten. Almost done. Tons. Why, those raiders in the Indian Ocean have really been successful. Really good. Okay, those Panzer IIIAs, there's only 73 of them. They are very weak Panzer IIIs. What I could do upgrade them. They're 3As. I don't think I can put anything too significant. They're from 1937. So they're 7-year-old tanks. So I could increase the radio. Add a smoke discharge. And I could put frontal armor on and add an armored skirt. Add an armored skirt. It's going to slow them down. Use more fuel, but it will make them better tanks. Now I can change that from flat to sloped armor. And 37 millimeter. Slightly better gun. So that's the 37-48. Give them that. So they'll slow down, but that will make them into a better tank. I just put them on for upgrading. That should be on for upgrading. The TDs upgrading from the E's. That should be on. That should be on. That's from an M. No, that doesn't get upgraded. M's. No, that doesn't get upgraded that way either. Okay, but there's only 73 of those. So I only need to do that for a period of time. get those 73 converted. Then I can move on to another model. How long will that take? There's 73 of them and 2.3, so 3 a week. Yeah. That'll just make them into a better tank when I have to use them. They may be a reserve, but that's fine. Okay, the interwar carrier armored scheme is done. That is coming along. And I think I want the armored hangars next. Can't afford the 50 points. But that does give me what I need. To design a new one on the light model, or I could revamp the interwar light. Let's do that. This is still not up to modern American standards, but I'm going to be able to change the armor design from improved to interwar. So strength and reliability. Strength is up, reliability is up 2, and maximum speed is increased. Okay. So that just makes it slightly better. Very slightly better light aircraft carrier. Let's compare that to the interwars that we're making. Will that allow me to put a lighter engine in it and get the same speed? Rather than an 80,000, can I go with a 75? It slightly decreases speed. Less fuel, of course. Same range, 0.2 less. Reliability goes up, manpower down. If we keep that 80,000, I can't do anything big enough with diesel. If I keep that at 80,000, I gain 0.2. Okay, so I can't. But I have the interwar here, and I can design a new one. Okay. So the two carriers that I have are this I don't know what size. $145. Large enclosed hangar. With a large search group. Okay, well, this is going to take quite a while to build. And my speed is down from those. Let's go with 100,000. Still about 30 knots. That's ample speed for what I need, I think. And let's go with a medium long. It gives me 700 kilometers more in range. We'll hit 30 knots exactly with 110. Okay, this isn't going to be done till years from now. $1947. It's a 3-year build. Almost a 3-year build. war will go on that long. I can definitely fit it within my capabilities. September, October are those light carriers coming off for training. Okay, the Zeppelin is done. Let's bring it back. To here. Okay. Now it's got a carrier deck of 55. So I want 5, 10, 15, 20. And that is 35. Five, 10, 15, 20. And 5, 10, 15. There we go. Okay, the Graf Zeppelin. I need to move it out here to pick up escorts. Almost done training that one. Okay. So a pocket battleship with a new destroyer. Pocket battleship is a little slower. My escort is anti-submarine, but this is too slow. Okay. So that is really not fast enough. Nor are they. The heavy cruiser is. Okay, so let's pull the blue shroud. of the pocket battleship. The pocket battleship will go into there. That gives me 5 destroyers, of which 1 is the newer variety, 4 older destroyers. I think that's fine. This needs to be its own unit. Superior Tactician, Fly Swatter, Anti-Aircraft. You're a Seawolf Commander, though. Who do I want to command the air wings? You know what? Let's pull him in. Let's pull you in. And let's move you up to here. Okay. Now that means he needs a new commander. These guys are all sea wolves. Severe shortage of the proper commanders. Okay. Don't think there's any more upgrades. Not this time. Well, I actually could build destroyer escorts. That's bigger than the escorts. We'll put another 2 destroyers down. now, we're going to make you a strike force here, 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 and there. Just for now, until we get the other aircraft carrier, which is now done. Down to Danzig. Okay, so air 55, 5, 10, 15, 20 fighters. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. That gives me an air wing of okay. This is CV2 air wing. CV1 air wing. Okay, that's CV1 air wing. CV2 air wing. First time chat, Neon Croft. Italy is incompetent as always, so it's up to Germany to save Europe. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Italy just lost East Africa just in the last few months. It did successfully take the canal, so I'm not too upset with Italy. It built an aircraft carrier. It has an aircraft carrier operational. So I'm not overly upset. Not overly upset with it. I've seen Italy do a lot worse with the AI. I'm starting to deploy aircraft carriers. I have V2 rockets falling on England. I am not at war with the Soviet Union yet. And I have less than a year until I will have nukes deployed. So that would be a nice opening way to go to war with the Soviet Union, by dropping some nukes on them, I think. We will be moving towards the Fritz Long Range ICBM, which should give us nuclear possibilities for New York and Washington. And that's the reason why I did a late war start. So a bit of a different approach here on Germany. It's what if Hitler was not silly about going to war with Russia? And what if he did invest in aircraft carriers and a little bit different type of development, and actually slowed down after Munich and taking Czechoslovakia, and was not aggressive for a couple of years, just took more time building up. Don't be in such a hurry. So that's what this playthrough is all about. That was a new 88. And the 3-far open AA mount. That's where we'll go next. That's not going to do any good. Yugoslavia. I still haven't gotten Romania into the fold. The wind cannon. 37 days away. Improved Supreme Headquarters. Well, I'm running out of things to do. Special Forces. Pilot Survival. Let's go there. Finally, the Panzerfaust. One of the things I've had to put off. Uniforms is only 33 days. We'll go there. I'm making any anti-tank. Yeah. We'll make a few. Okay. Another destroyer. And we'll need a little bit more steel, huh? Okay, still going okay. I've got one too many. Light carrier is done in September. They're getting called out. Okay, move him into Iceland now. They want to expand the research treaty. Why is there the wrong flag on the top left? Because I've declared the Greater German Reich? Are you referring to the fascist swastika? Which is still not allowed in some countries, and since I'm broadcasting possibly around the world, the game does not naturally produce it. I would have to run a mod to have the swastika, and I do not do such. Additional capacity to research the following folders. Great Flag of Peak Germany. This is what the game is giving me to use. I have created Greater German Reich, which is a move within maybe that the Black Ice mod does. Well, there's a reason, because it's associated with so many hate crimes. So there are certain things that are still not acceptable, even though it is, 80 years since the regime has been around. So I'm a military historian. I have no problem talking about it. And I know what it used to represent. And unfortunately, it's when people misuse it in non-historic terms today that the problems are caused. And my birdies want to talk, apparently. Do I keep giving in? Just devastating the Atlantic. I don't know whether you would call it censorship, but it's a worldwide item, not necessary to some countries. As a military historian, over all of my career, we could display the swastika in our museum. We would never fly it outside, but we did have it on display inside the museum to talk about it in a historic sense. And there were people that came in from various countries who would be horrified that we had it on display to talk about. So a very touchy subject, because that was not allowed in their country. A lot of war is built on lies and deception. There's been a lot of that throughout history. Very, very much. And, a lot of that still continues. The propaganda around war, so that you rally behind your cause to beat the other side, outright deception, and lies. My favorite one about World War II is actually the use of the nuclear bomb. Did the nuclear bomb end the war with Japan? No, it didn't. The Soviets attacking Japan is what really forced them to surrender. But traditionally, that was not the narrative that the Americans put forward. And it's only something modern historians will put together and prove. Japan was just so politically in a mess, it couldn't get its shit together to surrender properly. But there was no way it wanted an occupation of Japan the way that Germany was divided after World War II. And they were not going to have Soviet troops occupying any of Japan. Therefore, the unconditional surrender was set. But in the meantime, the Americans dropped 2 atomic bombs. And, of course, they surrendered to the Allies, not the Soviets. And that set up a number of problems for the Cold War in Korea and Vietnam, in particular, amongst other things. But if Japan had not surrendered and the invasion took place, the Americans would have gladly invited the Russians to participate and share in the million plus expected casualties, and therefore they would have had advanced through all of Korea, and it would have been all Russian controlled. And through Manchuria, and that would have definitely played out differently in China's development after the war. and an occupation of Japan, like Russia, would have created a whole different play on the Cold War. And that was all avoided by Japan surrendering to the Allies rather than Russia. So a different Cold War would have developed. But that is what came to be because of the decisions that were made. Alternate history, could have produced something different. So don't be too upset with a game using a different flag because I'm doing alternate history. I'm not portraying what actually existed in the real world in 1944. So the game can take poetic license, artistic license. It's no different than a movie like Fatherland or something else where alternate histories play forward. We're not talking reality. We're not saying this is the way today is or should be. We're just exploring possibilities of what if. Okay, so now we have 2 aircraft carriers with a heavy and light cruiser support and 7 destroyers operating in the mid-Atlantic. Let's see what that does. More steel. He's still contesting me in Belgium. I mean, I know that he's hitting me occasionally in some of these other spots, but just don't have enough yet. Oh, well, that's not what I want. They're mostly trained. It'll create more of a fight there. Expand oil exploration in Poland. Done. Getting well advanced on the tech tree, or the focus tree from where I want to be. I think it's time to get this done. Okay, he's still trying to operate in the Mediterranean. He's not doing too well at it. How are we doing? Don't have enough advanced medium tanks yet. Light self-propelled artillery. Cavalry tank destroyers. I've got tons of them now. Oh, my aircraft are still out of whack. Cannot produce enough. Okay, I do have artillery now. Light self-propelled. I have one unit transferred there, so let's move down the list to here and make that self-propelled artillery. Light self-propelled artillery. And that takes 75 of them in. Okay. And what other equipment do I have? Cavalry tank destroyers. I think I have enough of those. I want to move from that to that. That would actually decrease. Don't think I want to do that. There. There's only one of these divisions as there is. Okay. Starting to get to a point where I don't need my older armor for anything. Okay. So. Have the medium tanks, medium advanced tanks. Doesn't have the medium advanced tanks. A little shy on the medium CS. Got everything else. Okay. One heavy. There we go. I'll do that. Basic fighter factories. That will increase my capability. Now I can move down to here. Their production capacity per assembly plant +1. Oh, that's even better. What's that do to my production capacity? It should increase. I want to keep track of that guy. One of these days I'm going to catch an American aircraft carrier. Answer 3-4. Open. Resource saving construction. Don't really need that. You know what? I didn't go with the gas back here. I went with the diesel. Maybe we should go back and get that. Okay, the Panzer 3-4 AA mount. That opens up possibilities, but I don't have enough points there. Gains experience. It's a 7. Excellent. Okay, what do we want? Add another escort. Somehow I think over time we're going to need these. All these allied shipping. Oh, nailed an American heavy cruiser. Sunk by a U-22. Excellent. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. The Northampton, gone. Let's actually just have a look at this. Current month. 68. We've lost 9. British lost 192. The American 20. 23. 40, 51. 243. Funny thing happened to you a few weeks ago. In one of YouTube videos, there was discussion about World War II and people bragging how USA was the best, blah blah blah, in videos. So I posted some names of official documents, USA war crimes from single year, and posted in comments. Boom, comment removed for hate speech magic. Even though these war crimes are on Wikipedia everywhere, even USA themselves can't deny. I watched a very interesting special that talked about American war crimes in France during the war and after. particularly rape and how it was handled very, very badly. And secondly, pilfering and robbery. On that subject, there is good documentation that states there were more crimes against civilians done by the Americans in their 6-month push across France than the entire German occupation of 4 to 5 years. The Germans were in. Now, there was a lot of Americans there in that short period of time. Okay, give them that, but still, yes. So I can fully understand you finding those documents and publishing them. I have seen some historians talk about it on video, and I have seen various statistics. It's one of those things the Americans won't accept, just like the busting out of D-Day when they went to bust out of France, or out of the Normandy beachhead. The bombing that took place in this area here, and there was miscommunication and a huge amount of friendly bombing, and it was never talked about for years after the war. But there were huge amounts of American casualties and death and destruction by their own bombing force, bombing their own and allied troops, leading to that breakout offensive. I don't know the exact number that you're quoting there for the crime you're stating, but it was also very disproportional on charging African American soldiers and not charging white soldiers. Incredible disproportion. Just absolutely horrendous. When you look at the record of the time period on the numbers, and it was just again, as I say, and I've said this many times in my videos, to fully understand what happened in a time period, you need 100 years to go past. You have to have the first-hand accounts. You have to have the people who were there talk to each other and kind of encourage their memories so that you can get those collective accounts. Then you have to have the release of the official documents, 20 years. You have to wait 75 to 100 years to get the classified documents and all of the feelings, okay? Historically, the Americans would make terrible jokes about Germans in the time period and Japanese people. And those are not politically correct statements anymore, and it's not believed by the majority of North American people. But in the time period it was. So you can't talk fairly about the time period until you get rid of those biases. And, until 100 years later, and you can look at all those data, and, then you can get a true analysis of what really happened. You're talking about the occupation in Germany between 1944 and 1945 and 1955 with those numbers. I could believe that. I don't have access to those documents, but I know of similar, and as a military historian, I am aware that happened, and in talking about that time period, it is a discussion that needs to be openly talked about. So I agree with you on that point very much. Still, there's other points of... there's a very famous incident after D-Day about SS cold blood killing Canadian soldiers, and that is something that needs to be discussed more and knowledge known. There's several of those situations out there. War is terrible. There's atrocities on every side. It's written by the victor, and you have to let 75 to 100 years go past before you can even reasonably talk about what really happened. War is terrible for everybody. The winners, the losers, the innocent bystanders, everybody. It's not good. And, glorifying the effects of we won and we beat them, rah, 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 is only one aspect of the history. Am I aware of the Omaha Beach extraction point? Only 50% of POWs reached extraction. I'm not aware of that fact, but that wouldn't surprise me. There were official orders that on the first several days, the Allies did not have to take prisoners. So even though somebody surrendered, they could just be shot rather than brought back as prisoners. So that number may have some justification. And I know the number was less than 100% for sure. I mean, you've seen some even like Saving Private Ryan. I think there's a scene there where they are advancing off the beach and there are Germans in the trench that are surrendering, right? And the guy shoots them and there's nothing said or nothing done. That was acceptable because that was the orders that were given. There's a lot of those instances. One of the famous ones that affects Canada is the raid on Dieppe, where some idiot took the official orders ashore and they got captured, and it literally stated that they would hand tie any prisoners that they captured. So Hitler was furious, and he ordered that the Canadian officers would be hand-tied as POWs, and some of them had their hands bound for 1 to 2 years after that. And that was Hitler retaliating for something that the Allies had stated, right? So these atrocities, are out there, and that one, as a Canadian historian, is very, very much. Disappeared. Well, of course, and there's been a lot of that throughout history in every war by every side. There's always been situations where it was inconvenient or dangerous, and those situations have happened, and there have been times when atrocities, were acceptable as casualties of war. Not saying it's nice, not saying it's right, but sometimes there's no rules in war, right? All you can do afterwards is, bring to trial the problems, and a lot of the time the winning side will not do that. It's very, very limited, and that is the case in World War II. The Allies, in my opinion, did not prosecute enough of the war crimes that they set out by their own rules. Now, the D-Day prisoner of war one, there were official rules. Therefore, you cannot blame the average soldier, right? And how far up the ladder is that acceptable? If it's endorsed all the way up to the commander-in-chief, the actions from anybody below, essentially if Eisenhower raised the rule and Roosevelt and Churchill said he could make whatever rules he wanted, then there's no war crime. It's just bad morally to do. And there's a lot of that in war. And that is a side of war that a lot of people do not want to talk about, won't talk about, and won't accept. And my birdies seem to have a lot of opinions on this. don't you? Anyway, my time is advancing on. This stream is about 2¼ hours now. I think I need to leave it, and I'll be returning to this tomorrow. So if you want to see more Black Ice for Hearts of Iron 4, please subscribe. Any comments on YouTube on my videos? Birdies, give it a break. Okay? Give it a break. Please, any questions you have, if it's about the content that was discussed during the video, please leave a time reference so that I can, go back and clarify what I have said or I'm saying. And, I'm open to having discussions about all aspects of history, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the alternate things. That's why I play Hearts of Iron 4. So until next time, all you people and bots out there, I hope you're having a good one, and please be good to one another. My two green cheek conures, Bonnie and Clyde, and me, Grandpa Canuck, we're going to sign off. Take care.